When was the last time you made eye contact with a stranger and held it? Not in a creepy way, in a human way. A little nod, a shared smile, a moment of mutual presence. Feels rare, doesn't it? Because we're living in a time where almost everyone walks through the world looking down. Not because the ground holds any fascination, but because our phones have become the safest place to hide. The cost? We're losing connection, one of our most essential human skills. Hi, I'm Bianca Raby, CEO, entrepreneur, and someone who thinks deeply about how we connect. My first trip overseas was in 2002. Digital cameras were just hitting the market, everyone had a Hotmail address, and calling home meant finding a payphone and punching in a phone card number with what felt like a million digits. I remember being completely out of my comfort zone. And without a device to retreat to, I had to stare out the window, talk to my boyfriend, read actual paper books, and I had to be present. Fast forward to today, and we're all swimming in this hyper-connected digital world. You can sit in a cafe in anywhere in the world and hear nothing but the buzz of silence. Everyone with heads down, scrolling, typing, escaping. It's not just a tech habit anymore, it's becoming our cultural norm not to look up and engage. This shift is quietly changing how we relate, how we feel seen, and what we're modelling for the next generation. A few weeks ago, I caught up with a friend I met over a decade ago. As we told our how we met story to his new partner, I felt a wave of nostalgia for simpler times. We'd met randomly in a bar in Istanbul, two solo travellers who struck up a conversation that lasted for days. And it's not just nostalgia. Research shows that spontaneous in-person connections are more memorable and emotionally impactful than digital ones. It made me wonder, do young people meet each other randomly anymore? Because everywhere I travel, everywhere I eat alone, all heads are down. And yes, I'm guilty of it too. I reach for my phone when I'm dining alone or facing a long journey. But I also make a point to look up, to smile at people who pass by, or sit next to me, or speak to me. Even though I hate small talk, I chat with fellow passengers on planes. Because honestly, how strange is it to sit inches away from someone for hours and pretend they don't exist, while we both stare at a tiny screen? This is where we can all do better. What's changed isn't just technology, it's us. We've outsourced discomfort. Instead of waiting in line and chatting with the person next to us, we scroll. Instead of starting a conversation, we text. Instead of observing the world, we curate content to prove we were there. And this has quietly eroded one of our greatest human assets, our ability to connect spontaneously and authentically. Here's why I felt a whole video was necessary on this. If connection is contagious but no one's modelling it, how do we pass it on? The young people in our lives are watching. They're not just hearing what we say about being present or connecting more, they're watching us reach for our phones at traffic lights, during dinner, in the middle of a conversation. In schools, we ask students to develop communication skills, empathy, and emotional intelligence. But the role models, us, around them are increasingly distracted, withdrawn, or absent. And in a world where AI handles more of our thinking, planning, and remembering, the most valuable skill will be the human ones: presence, listening, curiosity, courage, connection. But how can we teach what we don't consistently model? This isn't about throwing away phones or rejecting tech. It's about reclaiming tiny moments of humanity. It's about choosing presence on purpose. It's about looking up. Say hello to the barista, smile at someone on the street. Be bored in a line at the supermarket instead of checking your phone. Start a conversation that has no agenda, just connection. These are small, radical acts, and they matter. Because connection is contagious, and we're modelling what it means to be human for our kids, our students, and our teams. So what if we made a pact right here, right now, to look up more, to lead by example, to let our devices serve us without letting them replace us? Drop your story below. When did you last look up? Because in an age of AI, what makes us human is how we choose to connect. If this resonates with you, hit the subscribe button and let me know in the comments. When was the last time you looked up and truly connected? Let's bring that skill back together. So, until next time, stay awesome.